I'm Dominican in America. That's basically it, right? Who am I? I think I'm just like someone that's along for the ride. I'm someone that's here to kind of like pursue my passions, and I don't really stick to anybody's norms, right? Like if I want to write a film and like dedicate 6 months to that and produce it and do that, then I'll do that. If I want to help my community in different ways, I do this, right? Like I out of the blue decided to kind of go into this massage business, and then facial list, and then eyelash list, but then I'm still an actor, and then I'm still a writer, and then I still see things in shots. You know what I mean? Like I walk through life seeing things like this. You know what I mean? Like it's like literally like this in little shots. And I think that never goes away. But I guess who I am as a person is someone who will venture through life doing whatever wins me at the moment. So kind of selfish, isn't that, huh?
No,
I
that's
think
When you
actually
that's
think about
great.
it, like, yeah.
you're just pursuing what you love to do at the moment. You know what I mean? And it might change, and that's okay.
Yeah, well,
Because
everybody.
that's how
Yeah.
that's everybody discover you're discovering yourself. That's what life is about.
I
Right.
Discovering and taking on whatever it is that you have interest in. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You know what I mean?
Like I literally haven't grown up. Like
yeah.
literally, I look at
But
people
that's
and I'm just like, wow, Yahaira, like when are you gonna grow up? Like when are you gonna get responsibilities?
Yeah.
You know, like I
but
have
that
like
is a
normal
responsibility
responsibility, like
taking
bills
on.
and stuff.
No,
You know what I'm
I,
saying? But it's
yeah.
like, am I a real grown up?
I think it's great. I
Me
mean,
too.
just when you put it down to it, we're all gonna die one day. We don't know when. There's a time limit, so you are going straight to everything that you have a passion for. I'm like, well, today I want to fucking make eggs, and maybe I want to make eggs for a living. I
Just
want
about
to do that. I was like, I'll do that.
all right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So it's like, why not? Why not do it? You know,
Hmm.
why am I gonna hold myself as a prisoner? Be like, I'll do it next year. I might
Hmm.
not be here next year. I might
Hmm.
not be here tomorrow. Let me try it now. At least you got it off the. You checked it off your list.
absolutely. And you
So
know what? It's weird because I don't even have a list. It's almost like this calling kind of thing. And it's like, I invested so much money into this, and anybody who knew me before this would have never thought that I would have taken this path
mhm.
for this.
Can you say what this is for the people who are listening and watching?
Oh, yes, this holistic lifestyle where I'm just trying to help people in their journey to get better, to enhance their authentic self. So I have a massage studio in my apartment. That's how it started. And the goal was to help people kind of like feel good and think about their health as preventative, not as like after the issue come and try to get fixed, but like what can we do holistically every day to kind
Mhm.
of like get ourselves right so that we don't get into a bad place where we're codependent on Western medicine kind of thing,
Hmm.
right? So that was my biggest niche. My grandmother being diabetic was a big influence in that. Seeing her break down through the disease was one of those things that I was just like, this is not possible. Then my own journey of like being overweight and struggling through
Hmm.
that and just saying like, where do I need to find the change? I joined like a boot camp. I was like super invested in it. I lost a lot of weight and I got back super fit. I did like Spartan races. I did this whole like, 180 to like this like nerdy like theater geek that wouldn't even join a basketball team or a cheerleading team in high school because she didn't want to be seen, which is the craziest thing. Like being an actor and not wanting to be seen, like is
Mhm.
insane. To then thinking about like, wow, as I did this boot camp and I worked out and then I went to a massage therapist every 15 days and I never got hurt. And I was like, wow, this is a key to living truly a holistic lifestyle. Like you're doing the diet, you're working out, and you're getting this massage. So I never get injured. And I was like, how does this connect? And then seeing everybody in this boot camp from my community. And I was just like, if they only knew, like, this is my secret weapon. This massage therapist that is like saving my life every 15 days. It's like
Mhm.
my secret weapon. join that with what was happening with my grandmother who passed away. I was just like, this is something that I need to bring to my community. And I try to make it super affordable so that everybody can actually afford to get touch therapy. And then through the process, like a lot of people were like, hey, so I like facials too. Like, when are you going to do that? Like, I want this to be a one-stop shop for me. A lot of my clients were saying that. And I looked at it as like, how can I provide services where people could get clean service, right? Like, no dirty products as best as I possibly can, because as we know, like you guys and I, we both know that we try our best to like be clean, but you can't really like, nothing's 100%, right? But how can I help people be their optimum self without like getting trapped into all this commercial like product situation? So then I went to school, I got certified, and I started doing facials. And then now I'm doing lashes. That's the latest thing. But it's like, I don't even do extensions. And a lot of people are like, why don't you do extensions? I'm like, do you really want all that glue in your eye? Like, that's great for like an event. But do you want to have that every 6 weeks kind of thing? So I do lash lifts, which is like always my thing, like enhancing your natural beauty versus like imposing something. And so that's
like Botox for the lashes.
Yeah, without the Botox.
Yeah.
Without the venom, right? Without the venom, right? Exactly. I mean, I'm not
organic Botox.
You're putting like something
you're
on the
putting
lashes?
a product on the lashes that breaks down the protein. So let's be super Dominican for a minute. So like when how we grow up Dominican, and it's like quote unquote nappy hair.
Yeah.
And the process for nappy hair is derizado.
Yeah. That's what they did to me.
The rizado breaks down the protein in the hair. So a lot of people used to tell me, oh, I used to do a cellophane. Oh, Rick is super lost right now. But a cellophane.
No, I get it, girl. I don't like it. I don't want a cellophane. I don't want a cellophane.
He used to get a texturizer on his hair.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
that was years ago.
I just wanted Chinese hair. I just wanted it once in my life. I wanted Chinese hair to see how it looked. It was dope. It was dope. But I had to get sulfate free. I had to get sulfate. Yeah. I had to get sulfate free shampoo and all that. I was learning all that stuff. Yeah,
but cellophane would be like our natural hair dye.
Hair dye that it washes. Shampooing.
Right. So people would be like, "Oh, when I curl my hair, I could do a cellophane and it would take it." Right. Now, when you go super natural, you do a cellophane and you're wasting your money. Like you want to like dye your hair, you got to dye your hair, right? Okay. So the same thing with the lashes. What the product does is that it breaks the protein so that it allows the setting lotion to sit in. So the way that I comb your hair up is the way that it will stay voluminous. And then I do like a dye that is specifically for the lashes, then makes it darker. So you look like you're wearing mascara every day, but you don't need to apply something every day. So it's a protein breakdown that allows color and setting at the time. So that's the best way. I can only explain it as a
I never know what the hell did they do there.
It's a cellophane for the eyebrows, but a better way, right?
Yeah. How you guys doing though? You look great, guys.
We're good, but this is about you. But thank you.
But
so you started getting into massaging and stuff, and with your grandmother and stuff. So how did you start your business? Like you went to school. How was that for you? Like starting your business, not knowing what to do. You coming from a creative. I mean, you come from an acting, filmmaking, writing background. You have kind of an idea. But like, what was that like? What challenges you went through to do that? And like, what resources you used?
So you're talking about the business structure?
Tribe elements. Like, how did you get there?
Okay. So I'm told that because I'm an Aries with a Virgo rising and like a Capricorn moon, supposedly the earth signs is what keeps me grounded, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. Okay, so it's like me coming from a filmmaker perspective, like Alex, like when we do grassroots films, Alex and I had an opportunity to work together on a film, and we actually went to DR to shoot it. And I think that having those experiences where you're kind of like really like flying off the whim, figuring it out. You go.
Yeah.
I was working at the time. I ended up writing a script. I prayed and I was like, listen, I just want to be unemployed to focus on my craft, but I want to make money. And an opportunity showed up where it was just like, okay, I get to quit, but my boss is going to accept me to get unemployment.
Nice.
But, and then I learned how to bake out of the blue.
That's right. You had your baking.
I went to Barnes and Nobles. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I went to Barnes and Nobles and got the American, it was like something like the American Baker's Guide or something like that, recipes, and Dominicanified every single recipe in that book because I wasn't going to kill people with sugar. I was going to add flavor with spices, kind of thing. American desserts are very, very sugar heavy, I might add, just looking at the recipes. But I just did went through these steps that I didn't even know, right? Like, I didn't even know. I didn't even plan. And it was just like something saying, go to Barnes & Nobles, buy that book. Learn how to bake. Start selling baked goods to make money to make your movie. Call on your friends and support units to see, who's down. Who's willing to go to DR. I remember Alex used, points on, her,
Yeah, my I had a timeshare thing, and I used my points for the flight. Yep.
It was crazy. We stayed in my aunt's house. We shot in DR. And I just think that is just a precursor to business management 101 grassroots style, commando style. You're just going to learn how to have everything organized one way or another. You have to make sure that your actors are right, that your script is right, that you are invoking and projecting a unit in the universe where your community comes into play and supports you. Because I borrowed a camera from Marvin. Remember Marvin from high school, from Super Marvin is a cop?
Yes.
And Marvin lent me his camera out of the blue. He was like, yeah, you can take my camera to DR.
Take his camera to DR.
I was like, Marvin,
not knowing if they were going to steal it.
Marvin, you're super trusting. You're amazing.
Because I won't let nobody my camera. So
Canon, I'm like, no, you can't borrow my camera from here to up the block. You crazy? Can I come? You know what I mean? It's my pride and joy. I spend my money on that camera, but it's Marvin was just yo, yeah, just take it. Carly came down and she was my DP.
Pregnant at you at
that time. She literally told me a week before we flew, yo, I'm pregnant. I was like, okay.
Yo,
I ended up giving the baby a credit in the film, the rolling credits was Carly,
born in
Taurus baby had a credit. I was just it's insane. It's insane. But I think that to answer your question, that's just grassroots to kind of get it together, right? It's super hard. It is super hard to validate your business on paper. It sounds is easy. But I'll just say something doing business as Tribe Elements, right? Which is the name of my company. Doing business as Tribe Elements, the things that you have to do, the paperwork that you have to file, are you going to be sole proprietorship, or are you going to be LLC, or are you going to be incorporated? These are things that you have to think about, right? I decided to start at the very beginning, at the very easiest part. And as I grow, I can always file the paperwork to transition to whatever it is. Yeah. Is it going to be a partnership? Is it going to be incorporated and I'm selling shares, right? I think you have to do your due diligence. I went to so many seminars, so many community centers that are supposed to help women of color trying to build their company, community outreach programs that deal with this. And it was really weird. It was just, I'm not going to lie. It was really, really weird. You go in there, you sign your name, they get funding for that, and then they don't follow through, in my experience, right? A lot of people have had a lot of different experience, but in my experience, it was kind of
just felt like a quota machine. They did their thing.
Yeah, it was weird. And anybody who knows me knows that I am following up, bro. I am sending you an email. I am you know what I mean? I'm just yeah, so you sent me this homework. I did it. So what's up? And it's you wouldn't get anything. And then 6 months later, it's oh, this seminar I think will be great for you. I'm honey, I already registered my company. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But it's just Googling, and coming from an era, I'm dating myself, but coming from an area where
we didn't have that.
This generation has it so easy in a way because Google was not available to me growing up.
To find it. Through the
But you literally
jungle.
had to go to the library.
Yeah.
You literally had to like pull out you had to go to the lady.
Do the work, research.
And you couldn't even go and just pick out. Like,
she's still like that now. I'm like,
Because
she
that's
wants to go to a store to get something. I'm like, just go to Amazon. Why are you gonna be going?
I like to support.
Why are you gonna be going to? No, hold up. I just said
it's about Jay.
No.
It's not about me.
Sometimes it's like you're gonna. She sometimes wants to look for specific things. Then I'm like, you're gonna go down to 5 to 6 different stores looking for it. Just go to Amazon, spend $10, you get it in 2 days. Like, do not go to 5, 6 different stores trying to figure this thing out. We're not in 1930s. We're good.
Now I do.
But we still support small-owned businesses. Don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna save my troubles from going to 7 stores to all of them. No, sorry, Poppy, we don't have it. Sorry, Poppy, we don't have it.
I like to walk.
I don't like the disappointment experience.
And they get a divorce.
That's you, and this is me.
Over divorce, over groceries, people. No, but I get both of you, right? Like, there's certain things that I definitely like rely on Amazon. I'm just like, listen, especially running a business, right? Like, my time is equity. Like, I just don't have the time to do a lot of the other things that I want to do and like the legwork for a lot of things, right? So I research things and then I go to Amazon and I order it. It's just like common sense, especially with spa related stuff. It's just a go-to unless I'm ordering directly from the company. So that's a big deal. In hindsight, also, I would say that I'm a tester. So the way that Alex goes to different places to kind of like see the product. I mean, it's something about picking up a box and being like, this is not what I thought it was on Amazon, and really looking at it and shaking it and be like, this joint is halfway empty, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
what I normally do,
and then
I just
finding
click
a
a button
resource
and
that gives you
return it.
Bro, have you ever tried to return something on Amazon? First, you have to find out who's the vendor.
Actually, no, I had great experience with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I've had great experience with return.
You deserve a medal. Kudos to you. Not everything is so swift. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm super Dominican about that. We'll just like keep it and send it to DR. I'm not bothering. I am not sending something back. It's not happening. It's too much of a hassle. All right, somebody in DR needs it. I'm just putting it.
I will agree with you though, because if it was a hassle to return things, then I would have never returned things. But I haven't had any bad luck with the returns of it. Yeah. But that was something that I was worried about. I'm like, okay, they're great in 2 days to get it, but what about his return? I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. But something would be like $10 or like $20, and I would really think about it, and I'm like, do I really want to tape up this bag again? The post office. And I'm like, my cousin in DR needs this. And I'm just going to call her and be like, I thought of you.
Yeah.
I thought of you. I'm sending you this thing. It's really crazy. Like Dominicans, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But Dominicans really don't send anything back. We really just keep it. And there's a constant box in the living room. I mean, Alex, I know you.
Or a closet full of shit.
Yeah, like Alex, you've lived alone for a while, but I don't know if you remember your mom or like growing up, there was always a box in the living room. And you were like super like, for us, we were like super ashamed, and like most Dominican like houses that we go to, super ashamed. Like, don't look at the mess, guys. We're just making a box for PR. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. It's constant.
The barrel. I've seen people that had
the
that
barrel. You remember the barrel? Yeah, the whole
blue barrel. I've seen that.
Stocking up on stuff and throwing it in there, and then there's like a production the day before the box or the barrel is being shipped, and it's like everything gets bubble wrapped and really tight and taped. Like Dominicans are number one reason for like the ozone layer, bro. Like we use so much tape to ship shit to DR that is like insane, bro. Like we are responsible for global warming. It's like crazy. We think we're doing a good service, but I'm like, Mom, that T-shirt is hand-me-down, but the amount of tape you're using, bro, like that's a lot.
But it'll get there safe and in mint condition.
For sure. For sure. But
satisfaction guaranteed.
Yeah, so there's always a constant box and we have it. But like in hindsight, I digress. The company got formatted. I just needed to Google a lot of stuff. I went to a lot of seminars, and it just so happens that I'm a loner and I'm a self-starter and I am super organized. And that's how I did it. It was really hard. It was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I had to Google a lot.
Yeah.
I Google a lot because I didn't find, me personally. I know other people find it helpful, but me personally, I didn't find it helpful because I didn't want to register my company in Delaware. I want my company to be in New York. So then I'm starting from the very basic to the, as I grow, to then progressively grow my company. And because I didn't want to do that Delaware situation, I wanted to build business credit in New York City, which is another animal, right? And you have your own personal credit, and then you have business credit.
And then you have business credit, and then business taxes.
And then that's like another animal, right? EIN numbers and like tax exempt numbers and all those situations to like order stuff online. And all that is just playing the game.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that because I was very much about like, I'm not playing into this economic system. I'm not going to be trapped to this craziness. And I fought it for a long time. But at the end of the day, you just have to say the services that I'm providing is the revolution, right? I have to be structured enough to be okay with Uncle Sam. You know what I mean? Like you have to play the game to some level, and then you could freestyle on like the other things, like providing cheaper services, like good, clean services. Like you could freestyle on that, but you can't freestyle on the system in a way.
Yeah.
We live in America. It is what it is.
Yeah. I want to ask you, you provide all this stuff to your, clients, customers, family, everything, you know what I'm saying? You provide so much to them and you give back to them. What has this journey brought to you? Just we'll go to the acting later on, but providing this service to everyone, what did that bring to you going on this journey? What was your biggest take from all this and that you learned from yourself?
I learned that you could sit there and you can make as many lists as you want. You can sit there and you can say by the age of 34, I want to be here, or have this or that. And then you'll learn that if you really go through life through the journey of something, experiencing things through the moment, your story gets rewritten as you go. You know, almost it's one thing to think I was born to to live, to do this, and then die. You know what I mean? Like that was my contribution because it's set in stone. And then another perspective would be like, whatever I wrote might not be clear to me, but through the journey, I will find my path because it's almost like something that comes within, right? Like me here in this earth, I'm like here planning things out as I think in this tangible space. And then all that shit goes out the window because I would have never at 18 planning to be an actor, planning to be graduated from like a Shakespeare school in London by the age of 22 and winning my Academy Award by the age of like 27, would have never thought that I would end up here because I was too focused on the cardinal earth perspective of writing my story and giving myself benchmarks by year. So the one thing that I've learned is not to necessarily go with the flow because I'm very goal oriented, but I'm flexible. I'm flexible to my intuition. Like I've learned to listen to myself to where, like, where's my next step? You know, not be so stuck on like what I wrote. So for example, when I do my vision boards will be very clear on aspects of my life that I want improvement in. And I do kind of like a backwards thing, like where am I going to be at 2021 in December, right? And I think about like where I want to be there. And then what am I doing today, November X on 2020 to get there, right? Like I don't start thinking about 2021 at like December 31st, 2020. No, I started thinking about 2021 October. Like as soon as Dia de los Muertos happens, December 1st, and then All Saints Day happens on December 2nd, those become benchmarks for me. Like after All Saints Day, like I honor my ancestors December 1st, and then December 2nd, I'm honoring my saints. And November 1st, my ancestor, November 2nd, I'm like, may, the universe provide. And then I start this like projection for 2021. And even though I do all these things, I notice every year along the way, things shift. And it's not even mental, it's like internal. Mm-hmm. So I just learned to listen to my gut. Nice. And if my gut is saying people are doing injectables, people are doing Botox, people are doing this, great. There's a place for that. There's people that need that. That's just not me. Mm-hmm. And just being okay with who you are so that you're not competing with someone else. You're just trying to really like be like, kudos to you, my sister or brother. Like you're doing your thing in that area. And I'm proud of you. I'm gonna keep it pushing because that's not me. Mm-hmm. And when clients tell me, oh, I would love it if you did Botox, I don't really chase the client hustle. I'm like, I know somebody that you can go to. That's just not what I do. You know what I mean? And being okay with that, which a lot of people aren't, especially in a competitive industry. A lot of people aren't.
Want to do everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, like my client says she wants Botox. I'm going to go and sign up for that course, and I'm going to do that Botox situation. I'm going to get this walk, right? But I'm just like... I
have actually a seminar next week on Botox if you're interested.
Oh, great. Check it out.
With follow-ups. I do follow-ups, so...
Oh, nice. Right. I didn't know you did that, but... but it's really interesting. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I saw someone's smile get fixed because of Botox, right? Like gums being too large, teeth being too small, lips riding up, a little shot to kill like the muscles around the mouth.
I just feel like when you make it so obvious that you can't like smile anymore or you always look surprised, that's what I'm like, it's overkill. It's over. Or like if it's noticeable, if you want, look, you could do whatever you want in your body, but I just feel like every day in the morning I look at a mirror, and if I'm looking at my face that way, I know I did something and it will bother me. I'm just not going to go outside and act like good morning. Like I don't have nothing wrong with my face because I see it and I know you see it. That will fuck with me every day. And I can't unbotox it because I just fucking fucked it up.
Well, there's people that put Botox on their hair too to keep it straight.
Not only that, or not to sweat. Like you inject under your armpit because people use sweaters. Yeah. Listen, I'll tell you this. In this business, I've learned is really crazy because you really have to put aside whatever structure you grew up with. Like, I don't know about all Dominicans, but showering is a big deal in Dominican culture. Like, you shower once a day, bro. Like, keep it tight, keep it fresh, right? Yep. I'm going to be real. Some people culturally or just choose to not bathe every day. Mm-hmm. And it's like at this day and age, nothing really shocks me. It's like working in this industry, nothing really shocks me. And it's almost like you have to put whatever your standards of whatever anything is because you grew up with that aside. Mm-hmm. And really respect people, like really have a beginner's mindset. That's what I tell myself every day. As soon as a client walks in, I'm like a beginner's mindset. Like whatever question this person's going to come. Some people come in here being more experts than me because they get so many services. They Google so much that they're experts at things. And I'm like, okay, sis, you taught me something today. Thank you. I'll Google that. I'll call my mentors and like, I'll ask them about this situation because I've never heard of this joint that you got done. Or there are people who are just here to ask you questions because they're lost and completely don't know. And you don't even have to have imposter syndrome. Like, you don't even have to go there. You just simply have to be like, hey, yo, like, I'll get back to you. If I don't know, I don't know. Exactly. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. You know, like, I'm just going to, like, check it out. But I really learned to be like, some people want to look processed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to be okay with that. Yeah. Like, when someone makes a decision to alter their body or their faces in a particular way, is a choice. To us, the more natural, like go with the flow, age gracefully people, that's a choice too. You're choosing to embrace your gray, your wrinkles, your sag gracefully. But some people are like, I want to look done. I want the look of full implanted lips. I want that look. You know what I mean? Like, I want the look of the cinched waist and the protruding, like, backside and hip. Like, there are people that are out here for that. So it's like, when you're in this industry, nothing's wrong or right. Nothing's really wrong or right. Because when somebody comes to you, they're coming to you for a service and help. And it's not my place to judge you. It's not my place to judge your journey or your choices. All I can do is give you my advice within that particular spectrum that you're coming to me with, and keep it pushing and just be respectful, you know?
What is one story you can say, like, through massage, like that there was someone who had a difficult time and like you were able to help them? Do you have one short story like that?
That I was able to like
help them through their journey of pain or suffering?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I have regular clients that come because they live a certain lifestyle that doesn't allow them to find themselves at a homeostasis kind of standard, right? Like their lifestyle is not conducive for them to be leveled out. So it's more about, I don't want to say codependency, but it's almost like this is a regimen that we have to follow because we already know that you're not going to change that other thing, right? You're not going to change your job that's causing the stress. You're not going to leave this relationship that's causing that. You're not going to stop cycling and working out to the point that your body is already stressed. So it's about getting people to like being part of their health journey in a way. Right? Like, it's like if you're working out, if you are stuck in a certain job or relationship that you can't, and you come to me, sometimes the program between you and I becomes something that is like, I'm helping you get through this until you figure out that area of your life. And just
there's only so much you could do.
Right. So it's like, it's difficult for me to divulge specifics because I'm very respectful of my clients' like thing, but I can say that there are situations where it's like people come to me consistently because whatever in their life that is causing the stress, they're not willing to change or remove themselves from. And then there are other people who are just like, they know, right? They're just like, nah, I do this for me. Like, I come here and I'm here to get my massage because I know it makes me a better person, or it helps me with my meditation. It helps me with my yoga. It helps me. It's just part of their lifestyle. They just pencil it in. They're just like, yo, when I leave here, I leave set for the month. You know, and it's a standing appointment, the same way that I practice yoga, practice meditation. So there's those two. And then there are people that come and see me once and never come back. And they're just like, this was an amazing experience. I feel so amazing. But they're just not massage people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody gave them that, they had the experience, and they're just like, yo, I just feel so amazing. And I have people that I see once a year because they're not massage people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe they don't have the funds too. That's another thing.
That's another thing. But some of my clients have the fun, but they just tell me. They're just that's not something I think about, which is society, right? That I know I need it, but that's not something I really think about. I'd rather go to happy hour with my friends and like drown that out.
And spend $300.
Well, it's not 300. Yeah, right.
I'm just over exaggerating.
You know, like get hazed and like numb that out. And it's like it really is part of society. So it's almost like every time is an opportunity for your body to educate you on what it needs. And then it's up to you to say, I'm listening to your body and I'm taking this on, right?
I agree because I'd never been to a chiropractor unless like probably a couple years ago because of something that happened when I was working out and my sciatica nerve started acting up and it was like, you should see a chiropractor. He can realign you. And I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, long story short, I went and I felt amazing. Like I always heard of a chiropractor, but I guess in my culture too, it's like those things gonna cost you so much money, So I was like, you better not go, and Medicaid don't cover for it. So, I went and I was like, whoa, like this is great, and I like taught myself. I was asking questions like, do you do this all the time? How many times a year do you do this? Because I started learning about the body. I was like, oh, maybe I should add this now to my lifestyle. Maybe getting 2 or 3 adjustments a year. I felt the difference immediately, and like knowing that like even us just walking every day to work, we slowly realign our body. Or if you work out every day, it's just your body's it's a natural thing. Something is going to get twisted.
Sitting, wearing the wrong shoes.
Right, yeah.
Wearing the wrong shoes that you want to walk, you really want to walk or be standing all day on your Jordans, bro. Like if that's not gonna kill your lower back, I don't know what is. Jordans are not made for that.
Or not trying to crease them, walking like a penguin.
Right. Like your toes don't even like bend because it's crazy. It's where lifestyle and image means like health, right? That kind of thing. Yep. But I hear you, and I think that when you're working with a budget, I can see where you have to also be like, I'm going to do this quarterly.
Yeah.
When working with a budget, I can see when you say I'm doing this monthly or I'm doing this every other month. And that's really up to you. And I look at that like a way of you're putting your health in perspective. No matter how often or how late in the year you do it, you're still planning and putting your health in perspective. It's like a diet. Right? Like we try our best to eat clean, but sometimes we just need that burger. Like for the meat eaters, right? Mm-hmm. And then like sometimes we just need that glass of wine. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we just need to de-stress. Like sometimes we just need to chill.
Yep.
And fuck the diet. You know what I mean? Like you just like fuck this. Like I can't. I just want to hang with we call it balance, right? But a nutritionist will call it weak. Yeah. A nutritionist will be like, you deviated. You weren't focused. You weren't strong enough, right? We call it balance because we need to give our asses a break. Like it's balance, B. Like I'm drinking this.
But sometimes if your body's calling for something, it's because you need it. That's how I see it.
Good girl. I love it. So how often do we need wine, Alex?
No, I don't really need wine all that time.
But it's that kind of thing. Like how often do we need sweets? Like I think it's also like the more you get into a holistic game about putting your health in perspective, not necessarily massage, not necessarily chiropractic, not necessarily like anything in particular. But once you focus and listening to your body as a way of being, you'll find your happy medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm into this cleanse. I'm doing this cleanse and I'm trying to follow this nutritionist guideline right now. And I had to hit her up and I was like, listen, it's cold as fuck. Like, I don't want to have a cold ass fucking protein shake in the morning anymore. Like, this is not working for me. I have to wake up an hour before just to have a cup of tea to muster the courage to have my first meal be this cold ass protein shake. I am not happy. I had to tell her that. I am not happy. And this is not what I signed up for. Like, I didn't sign up to follow another diet to reach an X goal. I want a lifestyle change. And I think that's the key. Like, when you think about a lifestyle change, then you say, I'm getting my chiropractic alignment quarterly. That's what I can afford. That's what I'm going to do. If in the event my finances change, I know the benefit of it, maybe I'll get it every other month. That's up to you and your finances, right? Because at the end of the day, insurance is crazy. I don't even want to get into the insurance game because that is another level of business. That is another level of crazy. That is, I need to hire somebody just to like hassle the insurance companies for my money.
Yep.
and then the co-pay system, and I just don't want to do that. So I just rather do pro bono stuff. Like, I'm already restructuring what next year is going to look like, and maybe like what would I do on a Wednesday, right? Where I do lotteries, and I'm like, hey, the first like 15 people that come, they get a 15-minute focused massage or a half an hour focused massage on a specific area that's bothering you for like free, or for like $10 or something like that. You know what I mean? Just the cost of supplies or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Because I just don't even want to get into that insurance game right now. Like, I don't think that I'm there. So it's like, how do I provide services for my community? I'm already like business planning for next year. And I'm just like, how do I do this? How do I provide services for my community in a way where people that really truly cannot afford it, and, you know,
Yeah.
the people that can will definitely like squeeze themselves in because they're the ones that are on IG, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But it's just like, it is what it is. Like, I can't focus on whether you could afford it or not. I can only focus that you're here on a Wednesday getting a free service.
Yeah.
Right? Like, whether you could afford it or not, that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm already thinking about stuff like that because the insurance game is crazy. It's crazy. And even though my prices are affordable for my community, I could always see my community prioritizing a happy hour versus a massage.
Well,
Right? They're like, I'd rather spend 200, 250 on I'm like this happy hour with my friends than $95 on massage, which is insane in the city. You know, it's insane in Manhattan. It's crazy. Like, you would never get it. Yeah. Like, I sometimes look at my clients, I was like, $95, really? Like, I was like, Google it. Go someplace else. Like, do that. Like, if you really think like you want to hustle me for like $95, I was like, okay. Yeah, Google that. See how it goes, sis. Like, do that. But it's something that you just have to like be okay with yourself and be like, I know why I'm doing this. And the right people will walk through the door. And the right people that need the services will walk through the door. Can't dwell. With business, you can't take shit personal.
Yeah. Oh, no. And with life and in general.
Right.
Yeah, in life, sometimes it's a little difficult depending on the tab of life. You know what I mean? We take a lot of things personal in a relationship. Like, bro, how many times I'm going to tell you to put the toilet seat down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we would take stuff personal. How many times I'm going to tell you when there's just one swish of this milk in this gallon, just use it. You know what I mean? Just use it. Don't put it back in it. Like, there's things that we take personal that just like drive us crazy.
It's unnecessary.
And then there's other things that you just have to be like, when you're dealing with people, you can't take anything personal. I'll just say that. When you're like trying to help people and in the people business, I got into this because I didn't want a boss. On a business level, I was like, I want to make my own money. I want to have my own hours. I want to be my own boss. I don't want to make money for somebody else anymore. Like, I gave up 25 years of my youth making money for other people, restructuring community programs, being program coordinator and program director in the hood, like really trying to like abide by other people's like mission statements that we weren't really following through. You know, these mission statements sound amazing, but on the ground level, I don't feel like we're providing the services that we said that we would. And I dedicated my youth to that because I know that's where my passions were, you know? And I just realized, I was like, nah, I'm not about that. I'm not going to make these companies that act like community centers, but they really have a corporate America structure, money and give them my life. So who should I need to invest on? Myself. Yeah. Do I trust in me enough? Which is an everyday situation. Do I trust in me enough to be like, yo, you could bet on you. You could bet on you and your hustle and your work ethic. You could really bet on you. And anytime that I embark on a different like journey, I have to really have the conversation with myself. Like, are you worth it? Because with those companies, I went hard. Like, I worked 12-hour, 16-hour days. I went hard. By far, I'm the worst boss ever. I treat myself like shit. Being your own, like, working for yourself ain't shit. Like, this is like crazy. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, bitch, get up. Like, you can't sleep because you got to do inventory. And you just got to wake up and go because your mind won't let you like rest until you do it. I'm the worst boss to myself. I've never worked so hard in my life than working for myself. Is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week gig. And when my friends want to hang out on their conventional schedules, everybody works from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday is like, woohoo. And like Thursday to Sunday is like my woohoo, is my money time.
Yeah.
And somebody wants me to hang out, like, you got to be worth it, bro. And I be telling my friends, like, that ain't worth it. I'm not losing money to hang out with you this Sunday because what you doing ain't shit. And people, are you really my friend or you're not? Like
you gotta put yourself first, and you gotta your business.
And I tell people, I was like, you want me to go to your birthday party? Bro, you gotta let me know ahead of time so I can block that day because I could be making money that day. And I don't know if your birthday is that worth it. I was like, I don't know if your birthday is worth me losing like $500 in one day. Like, I just don't know.
I'm gonna be massaging people at your birthday. Fuck that.
I was like, I'm always game. I'm always like,
I'll see you another day that I'm not working.
Yeah, I'm usually like, let's just do me and you like on a Tuesday. Let me take you to dinner like on a Tuesday.
Those are better anyway. Those are better hangouts anyway.
So I do one-on-ones. I tend to not do group. I'm never in anybody's pictures. Because I'm never there. It's like I tend to not do like group outings and stuff like that because I'm always like, I'll take you out to dinner or I'll take you out to do that one thing you really like to do or whatever the case may be. And then if I am taking off, I usually tell people, let me know ahead of time. So even though I am my own boss, I'm very strict with myself. I'm just like, I'm not going to lose money for the movies. Just because you chose a Sunday matinee. Like, that's crazy.
Well, that just shows priorities and responsibility and taking responsibility. You're running a business. And that's what separates you from everybody else that does things on a hobby level. And you're doing it on a professional entrepreneur, taking initiative level. This is my business. So if I suffer, or lack, my business suffers, and I don't have
your livelihood.
I don't have any leeway to make this stuff suffer because if I fail, this whole thing fails.
It's just me. It's literally just me.
Yeah.
So I would say that though. I would say that with business, when you go into business for yourself, and it's not something where you have a commercial space, I really enjoy. Believe it or not, I really enjoy this very low grassroots movement style. I think this part of the learning process in my business is teaching me so much that the plans that I have for where I see my business in 5 years and the expansion that I see in 5 years, I think these moments are the ones that are teaching me not only to learn and balance, but how to teach others in a way as I go, right? Because the goal here is that I'm not doing everything by myself 24/7. Like, I don't have to be the cleanup lady, the massage, the facialist, the inventory, the laundry person. Like, I'm not going to do that forever. But it's very humbling to me. I feel that when you learn a business from the bottom up, I have empathy for my employees later. I can provide a sense of like, I know what this job is worth. Yeah, you're the laundry person at my spa, and I know what it's worth. So I don't need to pay you less. I need to value you because I understand if the sheets are not clean, it doesn't matter if the massage therapists are getting paid $50, $65 an hour. Without you, this shit don't run. This shit don't run. And I think that I would say that this journey, because Alex, when I started, it was my bedroom, and I went to IKEA and I bought sheer curtains. This was my bedroom. I have a 3-bedroom apartment, and this was my bedroom. And I had my bed back there, and I bought sheer curtains from IKEA, and I split the room. And I had bookcases behind where the camera is. I had bookcases, and then like the doors to the closet. I had my desk by the window. The window's over here, and the door's over here. And literally the massage table will be in the middle of that. And I just wanted to make it as professional as possible, where people didn't feel creeped out by the fact that this was a bedroom. So there was a level of privacy, and there was like an ambiance to it. You know, your scents, like the things that I was like pumping into the room so it could smell right, the music, the conversations that I have to have with my family. Like, I'm trying to open up a business, yo. Like, y'all can't be loud, or y'all gotta dip, or y'all gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta dip between X hour and X hour, or you just gotta be like mute. Like, I can't have people come up in here and be like,
in a Dominican household.
Right, and be like, this joint is so unprofessional, yo. Like, she's the bomb at the table, but her apartment is hood as shit. Like, I couldn't. I was like, that is not, like, that is not me at all. And every time they would act out, and they say a client in between like thousands of clients that would have that experience, I would rip a new asshole on like every family member. I was like, you guys ain't shit. You don't believe in my dream. You don't respect me. You know what I mean?
Just lost out on a membership at my club.
You just don't ask me for a massage ever. You know, kind of thing.
You're cut off.
And they'd be like, hey, Yahaira, like, calm down. Like, it's not that deep. It is that deep. You don't know what it takes. And at the time, it was just like, bro, I just invested $38,000 in this massage therapy like degree. And I had to go and study for a board exam. Before this, I only heard of doctors and lawyers studying for a board exam. You know how that was stressful, bro. Yeah. I can't even tell you. Getting the license from New York State was so stressful. And I'm just like, you guys don't know, because I really do make everything look easy. Like, people really look at me like, oh, this is easy. And I'm like, if you only knew that, you know, the headaches and like the sleepless nights and the studying and the dedication to everything. But I had a vision. 4 years ago, I knew my colors were going to be great and pink. And I knew what this room was going to look like. And I kept telling my clients, I was like, you wait. I'm going to hook this up for y'all. You wait, you see. And I was like, and little by little, things started to shift and change. And people were like, yo, I remember when you said there was going to be like gray and pink. This is crazy. And then like added a new thing. It's important to have a vision, right? And things don't necessarily look exactly how I imagined it, but they look better.